Hello everybody and welcome to the not so frequent sleepy Sunday streams that I do around here. So, a couple of bits of really quick housekeeping before we get going. First of all, this is my first stream in about 6 months, so let me know if the volumes are a bit dodgy or you can't hear me okay, and I'll try and fix some things. Second of all, if you're interested in my stuff, CRT7 is currently in the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. There's a free demo out you can play right now. We'll come back to the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase in a couple of seconds. Also, recently I released a game called Upfall, which is totally free as well. Not at all puzzly, but sort of neon and creepy, very much in my style. I worked with a friend who did all the art for it, all the pixel art. It's great. But about today. So, I was kind of called back to streaming because, as you might be aware, there is a thing going on Steam called the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. Now, this is by far my favourite event of anything that happens on Steam because it's where a bunch of incredibly cool, strange, interesting thinky or puzzle games show up. Alongside this, we had the Thinky Direct this year as well. And I watched the Thinky Direct live, and they showed a bunch of different puzzles, different games, and there were two that really stood out to me that both have demos in the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase this year. So today we're going to try them. First off, we're going to try Trifoil, I should say. And second, we're going to try the button effect. I have no idea how long these demos are. I've really not seen any of them apart from just to get them going. So this might be a really short stream. It might be a bit of a longer stream, depending how stuck I get and how long the demos are, I suppose. But this was the game that really stood out to me from the Thinky Direct and from the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. And there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, if you know anything about me or the games I make, you will have seen these glyphs over here, and I love glyphs. I love weird, interesting glyphs. I saw these, I saw the cyan and magenta palette and went, yep, I am playing this. The soundtrack on this menu, absolutely love it as well. This game couldn't be more in my kind of vibey wheelhouse if it tried, so I'm really excited for this. Oh, hey there, Andy. Is it Andy or Andilly? But thanks for joining us in the chat. Oh, I mean, I was so excited when I saw this. It's incredibly my vibe, as I said. Also, a friend of mine has said that it reminded them very strongly of a game I made called Solas 128. So I'm intrigued, let's put it that way. Anyway, enough preamble, let's get into this. Let's try and figure out what these glyphs mean. I mean, it's even got the bloom. I love it. I don't think we need to tweak anything. I think I've got that all set up. Yeah, let's get going with a new game and see what this is. Okay, I guess we are... Yeah, we're this little ghosty blob. That's interesting. So, because I've played too many puzzle games, I was expecting us to slide until we hit a wall. But we're not doing that. We have kind of step-by-step, tile-by-tile control. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Right, so it looks like we're moving around a big world and then we can jump into smaller puzzles. I assume this will then... Yeah, I'm blocked going that way. So I assume solving this will open these grids. Ah yes, you can't see a mouse on here anymore, but there's a line coming out of it going towards those grids, so... Yeah. Alright. Okay. So these little cyan areas, we jump into it, a little sub-puzzle. We then move around, drawing a line behind us. Oh, press M to show the mouse pointer. Ah, okay, nice. So yeah, this line here, these lines here, seem to link up the puzzles. I'm assuming, yeah, we can't cross our own path. Although, whenever I say we can't do something in any of these games, what I really mean is, we can't do that right now, but I bet there's going to be a mechanic coming up. As you might have seen if you watched my Lock stream, Lock Digital, there's quite a lot of times when I went, we can't do anything diagonally. And then in my head I was going, yet. And then, lo and behold, that's how puzzle games work, right? Okay, so that's interesting. So in here we had a clear start where we could only move to the right. And here we have a clear end where you can only move into it from the left. Here we still have the plus, but it's obviously we can go out the top and come in the bottom. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So I guess the glyphs might be special behaviours. Can we just... Oh yeah, we can just ignore that, but there's a wall here. Okay. So I mean, this again looks like we can come out of this side, go into this side, and that line across it must mean something. But this plus is obviously a start-finish point. Out of interest, I can obviously do it like that. If I reset the puzzle, does this also count as a valid solution? Yes. Interesting. Always suspicious when there's two very different solutions in a puzzle. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so these are the magenta glyphs that we saw on the start menu. Okay, and we've got a bunch of power lines, so it looks like basically we need to solve one of these puzzles and we'll go in a different direction. Incidentally, I haven't streamed this yet, but I'm planning to at some point. A friend of mine called Port Bonky, who made Recursed, created a game called Only Sliding that came out a couple of weeks ago. It had a sort of similar idea that you were moving around an overworld and could jump into smaller puzzles. If you like kind of sliding style puzzles, worth checking that out as well. Okay, so let's go into here. Oh, okay, so that's to teleport into a whole new sub-area. Oh. Okay. 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 So, I've just realised I think what this is. This is like a mirror in Solas. It means I suspect we can come in and go up. We can't cross it. And if that's true, that means we can probably come in and go down from the other side. So it's like a two-sided mirror in a laser game. Yeah, okay. Okay, which then means we can reuse the same space where the glyph is. Interesting. Now, of course, now I've said this, I really should be good at these reflection puzzles. Now, the question is, do I have to use both sides, or can I... Yeah, okay, I have to use both sides of these. That seems to be a condition, or it gets upset at me. Okay, so that means what I probably want to do is something like this. So, we've bounced off there, come in, bounced up, bounce left, come back round, bounce down again. Interesting. Okay, now we have 3 mirrors, so we can go around like this. There we go. Oh man, now I've queued up that this is reminding me of Solas, I'm going to be really, really embarrassed when I get horrendously stuck at a puzzle, which will absolutely happen at some point. Okay, can we do this? No, we can't do that because then we get stuck here and can't go back up. So, can we instead do it like this? Yes, we can. Okay. I don't know how well this is coming across on the stream, by the way, but the little sort of glittery particles in our stream we're leaving behind us, so it's a really cool little effect. I just really like how this game looks and feels generally. Loads of little subtle effects, like our little character is sort of lighting up the grid as we go past. As is, I think, some of the other components. You're very welcome, Andy. It's, as I say, I saw this on the Thinky Direct and was just immediately really taken with the look of it. Yeah, okay, so that's us. So I should probably do these a bit slower. But yes, we're reflecting around here, and then that means we can sort of zigzag up here, loop back round up there, go around the outside, back down again. That's a really nice one, because that means we use up every single cell in that puzzle. Yeah, even there's like subtle effects that when you go into a puzzle, it sort of de-emphasizes the rest of the surrounds. That's just really nice game design stuff that most, if you're not a designer, you don't notice, but makes the game feel much better, right? Because it's really good at directing your attention to where it's supposed to be. Hello, Lithium Project. Thanks for joining us. So we've solved those puzzles and turned this on. Goodness knows what this is, though. Interesting. It's sort of... It feels kind of circuity, kind of brainy. There's a circle in it. I guess we'll keep going and see if we find anything out. Okay. Guess this is another teleporter. Where does this take us? Ah, back to where we started. Ah, and now that is appearing in here. So, okay. This area was teaching us about mirrors. This area will probably be teaching us about that glyph. This area will be teaching us about these glyphs. Now, if I had to guess, before jumping in, these feel like straight crossovers. These now feel like T-junctions. Now I know a bit about the mechanics. Interesting. Now, we did also unlock what was back here. What is back here? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. A very large, potentially optional puzzle. I think we'll leave those. We'll come back to those at the end. He says, seeing the amount of mirrors and running away. Alright. So let's jump into this sub-area. Yeah, okay, so that definitely looks like a crossover, right? Because we'd have to do a figure of 8. Oh, also slightly different mood track in this area. Very nice. The soundtrack of this is really good, Andy. Okay, so as before, let's just test our assumptions. So yeah, we definitely have to go straight across. We can't change direction in these ones. And as before, I'm assuming we have to do the crossover. Yeah, or it's not valid. Okay. So that would mean this one is kind of our classic. We go right the way across and zigzag back down like that. Although, I think it would look prettier if we did that direction. Oh no, we can't do that direction because we're blocking it. Well, no, never mind then. We'll just accept the solution that I was guided to and should have done originally. Okay. Ah, okay, and here we're back to the end being start and end being in 2 different places. Yeah, they really did. It's such a good kind of mood. It's one of the problems with some of these types of games is that sometimes you can have like a really intrusive soundtrack, or you can have a soundtrack that just gets quite repetitive, but this is a really good balance. Alright, so I guess we can do that and then finish that crossover. Lovely. Each one of these we're filling up these lines, power lines, which I'm assuming is going down to some sort of, yeah, merger at the bottom here. So this is basically saying we need to light up all of these to turn this one on. Which will also turn that negative space glyph on over there as well. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, my first intuition is to do that, and then round that way, but that's wrong. But we can go all the way back round here and cross across them. Yeah, even in here, it's lighting up the puzzle a little bit, really subtly. Very nice. Also, I've only just noticed that we're like corporeal when we're in these puzzles. Whereas when we're out here, we're more ghostly. more Chrissy Crossies. I'm not immediately having an intuition on how to do this one, so let's try and do this. Does that work? I think that works. Yeah, because we're crossing horizontally through there and then looping back around to do the vertical ones. Okay. Okay. So if we go horizontal, vertical, horizontal, yeah, then we can loop back down here and go vertical, horizontal, vertical. I like these puzzles. These are, appropriately for me being based in Scotland, feeling quite Celtic knotty. There we go, and we've lit everything up again. Got this, so we had the circle in the negative space glyph. This one is more kind of crossovers. Interesting. Okay. Okay, and I assume that means behind here we'll have another... Oh. Interesting. There is a big, complicated puzzle back here. There's also something else underneath. Did I miss something else on the other side? No. Interesting. Okay. Let's try and do the other set of, like, potentially T-Junction puzzles along here. And then I guess we're unlocking down here if we want to go and explore as well. Interesting. Not immediately obvious to me how these work. You can clearly do that. We get small. We get smaller? Oh, just don't tell me. Oh, that moves us onto the line and then we can move along the line. Oh, that's going to hurt later on. That's going to hurt a lot later on when that gets merged with other mechanics. Uh-oh. So yeah, again, we can loop around here, jump back onto there, and then we can travel along our previous line to get back to the start. But that, of course, means if we're doing something like this, we can no longer leave the line anymore. Oh, we can use the... Interesting, we can use the T-junctions to step off the line again. Okay, so we're basically stepping onto the line here because we're going from this kind of into this T-junction that's already crossed, which puts us onto our line. And back here we're going off the T-junction out of one of the valid exits, which means we step off it again. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. That is a very cool mechanic I've not really seen before. Okay, so that means we should be able to basically loop around here, jump onto our line, run back across, step back off there. Okay, I love how these glyphs look when they all line up. This is one of my favourite things about designing Solas levels is there's a lot of really interesting ways you can line up shapes that have meaning but look really cool. Okay, how are we going to do this one? It feels like we probably need to draw a line between them. Yeah, and then jump back onto our line, ride it back along so we can then jump out again. There we go. this is interesting. Let's do the top one first again. Okay, so this, jumping straight onto this T-junction, forces us to have to be on the line to get back home. Right, because there's no other way to get back to home, because this is a start and stop area. Which means we have to... do something. That's not right, because then we get stuck here. It's got undo, so let's just hold the undo. It's also going to cause us issues. Yeah, now I've just blocked off both of these, so that's no good. I am kind of intrigued by something, though, in the rule set. What if we do this? I can't then hop across that gap. No, okay, that makes sense, because we'd be going big, leaving the T-junction, and then the line's in the way. Okay, so that's consistent. So this is the first move. This has to be our first move. Guess what we could do is that. Yeah, because then we can loop around there, jump on our line, loop back around this way. No, because then we get stuck. Yeah, something to hear about there being odd numbers. Because we'd go into here, so that means to get back up there we've got to be on the line. But if we're not careful, we get on the line in this one, get off the line in this one, and then get stuck. That's no good. That is good. Because we can then jump back on the line on that side. That's the trick. We have to go to one side, loop round, go to the other side, loop back again. Clever. Also, very pretty looking solution. A non-symmetric solution. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Do that. That's a bad idea because we block off that one down there. Are we expected to do something like... because that blocks us off up here. Can't be that either, because that blocks us off down there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if we kind of loop around all of these, and then jump on here, this corner piece means we can jump off the line, jump back on the line, and then leave our line back up here. Oh, this is clever. I like this very much. Interesting. Okay, so the fact we're at a dead end here means that we have to do these two moves first, which means we have to end up back on the line to get back to the end point. So... no, it can't be that because then we block this off. Can't be that because then we block this off. Implies it has to be something a bit more like this. Yeah, there we go. This is weird. With some of these games, I'm making logical deductions and figuring things out. In this one, I keep trying to do that, but my brain keeps just flipping back to it being a lot more kind of intuitive, what I call jazz solving, where I'm sort of just playing and figuring out things as we go, which I think fits the vibe of this game quite well. Interesting, that's another circly one over there. It is different. This bit's different. Ooh, I wonder what those mean. Okay, let's go and have a quick look down south and then maybe go do those extra puzzles. Oh, we have to do some extra puzzles. There's this unlit up line. I think it's going off to that right-hand side area. Okay. So for completeness, let's see if we can do this puzzle over here before we go in that direction. Okay, so the only way we can get into the middle is we can get in here. Oh no, there's a few ways we can get in. This side we can't. This side we just wiggle round. So I guess let's start there. It can't be like that because that blocks us up here. I've just noticed, well, when you remove moves, the noise gets sort of reversey and echoey. Sort of like reverby, I like that. Okay, but the problem is we can't do that because then we can't go in there. So it feels like this sort of has to be our final move. It means I've gone the wrong direction to start with. So let's try going this direction. That... we have the same issue. If I go this way, I can't come back up here. Oh, thank you, Andy. Can never remember what those are, but I appreciate the 250 of them. The Twitch shinies. I'm going to stretch and also drink a little bit of this fancy rum I have to reward myself for solving 3 areas. Okay. So this is where we play the what very obvious thing am I missing game. The very obvious thing I'm missing is that we don't have to continue going up here. We can branch off and go back around. Which then allows us to go all the way up and around, back around that way. Oh, that's a deeply satisfying little puzzle. Well, a deeply satisfying, rather large puzzle. Where's this line going? Where's this line? So previously, these lines, when they've lit up, they've unlocked something. This one appears to be going back into the puzzle itself. Getting more and more suspicious that there's some contextual shift in here somewhere I haven't seen yet. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so this is the kind of area we still need to solve, I think. Yeah, so that's that line that's come from over there. But before we go into there, let's see if we can do this crossover puzzle. Oh boy. Oh boy, that is a lot of crossovers. Okay. that's immediately a bad move going down because then we get stuck later on. But we can go up here and then we can come back around this way. Oh, this one is... Yeah, okay. Let's just try going... We can't go through it that way because that will then block here. So that feels like we probably have to come back and around somehow. That's bad as well. That's bad because that is making that impossible. That's making that one impossible. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So the fundamental... So, okay. So we go from first principles and actually try and do some deductive reasoning on this, which I admit has not been going so well in my head so far. We have to come out here and we have to go down here. There's no other options for where we can move. We then have two options. We can go down or we can go left. Going left, no matter what I do, will kind of make one of these unsolvable. If I go this way, I can no longer go up through this one, which I need to do. If I go down, I can no longer go across through this one, which I need to do. So it means we have to go this way and we have to go through here. Now, if we go through here, if I go down, I make this one impossible. It means I have to go up. And that means if I go up again, I make this one impossible. Because I've got to go across. That means I've got to go across. It means I've got to go down and across. And if I loop back here in any way, I will get stuck later. So I've got to come back and around, up and right there. So effectively, I think one of the things we're saying is if we ever see two of these in a diagonal like this, we always have to do a 90-degree turn between them, or we're going to make something later on impossible. Which would make this a lot more solvable, right? Because then I have to go like this. And if I have to go like this, then I have to go straight forward through there. And I have to loop up like that. And that then means I think I have to keep going down, because we've got to come back through here at some point. Goodness knows when. Which then means we've got to go through here. Up here. And then sort of loop back through all of this. But I feel like I'm going to get stuck because I've missed something up in this corner. Yeah, we've made that one impossible back there. So let's unwind some of that. That's close though. That's very close. Yeah, I have to go straight up there, loop back around, and then do all of the stuff we just talked about with the right angles, all the way back round and back up. Oh! Yeah, that one tingled. Interesting. There's no power line on this one. Oh, I'm so deeply suspicious of that power line over to the left. as the dev is in the chat, biting their lip, no doubt. Okay, so this is a 4th sub-area. Oh. I didn't really predict what this was going to be before I got in here. Yeah, they're like smaller icons. So these seem to be icons outside of the grid? Oh no. Oh no, oh god, they're icons you place as you move about. Oh no. Okay. Uh-oh. So basically, yeah, we can't do that because we've not used that icon, so we'll have to do that. Andy, the developer in the chat, having that moment that all of us puzzle developers love when someone's playing our game and we reveal a mechanic and the player just goes, oh no. So I guess that means we can loop like that, only the right way around. Oh no. Oh dear. I can see this hurting. Oh, I like this little run of puzzles down the bottom. That's clever. This is classic, like, puzzle designer. We give ourselves a, like, really limited constraint and then very slightly change it and go, look how different the solutions are. Okay, so I've got to cross myself twice. There we go. Oh, this time I've got to cross myself 3 times. Yeah, there we go. We can loop around like that, and that gives us the 3. And that assumption we made from previously about these being diagonal still holds true. We've still got that right angle. And this will turn on another of these strange mega glyphs. Okay, same. See, this is the same, basically the same layout as this, but they've just moved the wall, which means we're likely to get a very different solution. Because that doesn't give us enough places to cross. Neither does that. That really doesn't. Okay. Okay. Just because I think I see what I'm doing on this one. Wait a minute. He says immediately, I think, messing that up. Yes. There we go, that's better. Right. Sorry, I saw that one out of the corner of my eye. So, let's get that one locked in before I go back to this one. Question is, do we have this layout? Okay, so let's think about this. We can't have a cross in any of the edge pieces because we'd not be able to go up through them or left and right through them. That means we can't have a cross here either, so our crosses have to be here, here, and here. Kind of want the ability to, like, on a nonogram, to be able to mark, like a Sudoku, to maybe mark cells. Maybe that's just because it's got that I've got the mouse around. So what that means is we have to... There it is, round like that. Perfect. Ah, look, our sort of knot icon from earlier has got more complicated. That's interesting. Oh, those feel so meaningful in a way I don't understand yet. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so we've done all the 4 sub-areas. We've got 2 sort of knotty things, 2 sort of circly megaglyphs. So clearly these 2 seem to be related and these 2 seem to be related. I wonder if there's anything else in this demo. What if we unlocked down here? Wishlist on Steam. Full game will include more puzzle mechanics, over 150 puzzles and more. Feedback very welcome. Some credits, some playtesters. Oh, well, that's interesting. We will be playing Fry Candle's game next. Oh, hello. Not done just yet. Oh. Just saw Mr. Electron dance as well. Okay. I mean, let's try and do these final kind of mixed glyph puzzles as well. I am interested how the glyphs will... Ah, is this line just saying that's where we'll start, maybe? Maybe. Anyway. Oh, this is interesting. I've immediately messed that up. My suspicion is these are probably super hard post-game puzzles. Okay, let's hop in. Feels wrong here. It isn't actually... Oh, that light, it leaves our progress there. That isn't necessarily wrong. No, it is necessarily wrong, isn't it? So we can jump on here. Oh, no, it isn't. No, it isn't, because... No, it is. Because we can't get off here either. Okay. I don't think that was necessarily completely silly, though. We can jump in here, jump out here, loop back around. Because that then puts us on the wrong side of that. Also, we need a way out. Just realised, and that blocks our way out. Ah, my hubris of trying to do the hard puzzles. Always a danger. So the thing is, we can't go into here until we have a way out of there. That doesn't really fix anything doing what I've just done there. Yeah, these have ramped up in complexity. I can see why these were put to the end. To taunt people like me. Feels wrong. No, see, it can't be that, right? Because if that causes us problems, because we can't go through there. So we know it can't be that. So the option is, we either go up into here, through this way, or we have to come through this route. There are two ins to this section. My feeling, and it might be wrong because this is how puzzles are designed, is that we have to leave out of this section to come back up here. Because otherwise, we've got to come out of here somehow. And then we'd either have to come down here and around, or we'd have to come out of here and around, but then that would be blocked here. It does feel like we need to go this way. This is again where it might be nice to be able to mark some of the cells potentially, just to, like in sort of a Picross or an Onogram where you can sometimes cross out cells. That can be a really useful solving mechanic. Oh, but we could go out that way, which would then let us loop back round. Can't go. I don't know what happens here. That's my problem. If we go in there, I don't know what happens here. That can't be right. But these bits down here are the problems. So I wonder if we've got to go in here. I wonder if that is what we need to do, actually. Do that, although I don't know then how we're... Oh, hello, Graham. So, what's the idea of this? Well, we've just gone through a bunch of tutorial puzzles that sort of teach us the different mechanics. Basically, the idea is you've got to start and end on these pluses, and you've got to do a complete loop. However, you've got to make sure you fulfill the requirements of all these glyphs. So you can see we've not fulfilled any of these requirements around here. These glyphs have different requirements. These ones have to be crossed over like this. So you need to go straight through them in both directions, then they're happy. The T-junctions are a bit weirder in that we have to go... how can I show one like this? In that we have to go through them, but then when we jump back on them, we then jump onto our line and can only move on the line we've drawn. Odd number. Odd number means I can go back on my line. So I maybe don't have to come in the other direction. Oh, Andy, if that's true, I'm gonna glare at you. The thing about these T-junctions, when you're on the line, you then have to use them again to step back off the line as well. But there's 3 of them, which means I get on the line on one, I get off the line on the other one, I get back on the line on the third one, potentially. Oh, you sneaky game developer. That means I should... No, not like that, not like that. You know, you're not allowed to do it like that. I should be able to do something like this. Jump on here. And then replicate that on this side, and then ride the line all the way back up here. Is that the solution? Oh, Andy, you monster. That's so mean. That's so mean. Oh, the developer of this game was in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if they're still here. Oh, that's so mean and so good. At no point did it ever tell me I had to go back in through this side. I just assumed that because there's 2 entrances and exits, but it never ever like highlighted that. Oh, that's really clever. I mean, I think it's fine to have a smiley face puzzle. It's fine to have a puzzle like that because it's, you know, it's very clearly post credits in the demo, and for the psychopaths like me who are really digging it, that's a really good signpost of some of the future nonsense that's coming up. One suspects. Oh wait, oh what? Wait, oh no. And yes, so Graham, these symbols outside the grid, these we paint in when we fulfill their conditions, and we have to paint them all in. So if I was to do something like this, we paint an extra one in. Absolutely goodness knows what I'm doing with this one, though. Not that, obviously. Oh dear, okay. Okay. So, at least we know on this one, because I can't go back on my line, that we have to come out and go back in to this space. The difficulty is, how do we... The difficulty is, how do we get back across them horizontally? Like that? Well, that's not bad. But then leaves us this problem. Yeah, we get stuck in a corner. So that makes me think we've got to kind of loop round and then jump out of the end. So maybe let's try doing it that way around. Because we can do that loop. That's not going to use enough crossing points. Oh, that was nearly good. The classic puzzle refrain. That was nearly not terrible. Nope, stop just redoing the same thing you've done. That's not going to be the answer, brain. Can't be that. This bit feels good. Might not be good, but it feels good. So I wonder then if... That's not good at all. No, we've still not quite crossed enough there. Okay. Let's try and do some actual reasoning on this, right? We've got 4 of these. We know these cannot go next to a wall, which means they can't go any of this outer section. Also means they can't go there, it can't go there, it can't go there, it can't go there, it can't go there. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potential locations. And we've only got to get 4. How hard could it be? Well, that was a poor start. I was about to say I don't hate that. Oh, I don't love it though. Don't love it. That loop was the problem. Yeah, because then if we go right the way across, we get stuck with these corners again. We cannot turn. Yeah, we can't turn between 2 of these. Just like before, when they were diagonal, we had to have a turn. When there's 2 like this, we can't turn, because if we ever turn, that will leave us with issues. Okay. Knowing that, so yeah, we can't do that. So if we're going to the right, we have to immediately go down, and that means we have to go right the way down to the bottom. So let's just try and explore this branch of the possibility space. He says in a very grandiose manner. Which means, oh god, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I mean, that's lovely, but we've not added any crosses. So that's unhelpful. Okay, so if we are going to go across the middle... Feels like we need to go out that way, but how can we go across the middle in a way? Because that then leaves us with a corner issue. That leaves us with a corner issue. No, that can't be it either. We get stuck there then. Same there, we get stuck. Ah. That leaves us with the same corner issue that we keep running up against. So is that if we? I don't think we get here. We can't have a corner here if we put a line down there because we'll have to cross that line. Maybe. And I'm feeling like no. But yeah, because then we have to do that and then we get stuck around here. Oh, these are tricksy. These are really tricksy. We just... yeah. That will always cause us problems. I really want to go up and around here, but then can't come back through here. If we go straight down here, that also runs into issues. Again, nope. Partly because we've never even gone through this one at that point. Oh, this is fiendish. It feels so close. And it just isn't. Just isn't at all close from where I am. That actually feels okay. I wonder if there's something better we can do. I feel like I've forgotten what the nice proto solution I had over here was now. Absolutely I have. Okay. I'm really suspicious about this whole bit round here. It feels like I'm supposed to use it, but I don't see how I can. And I feel like that might be... I feel like that might be part of the solution if I can figure it out. Yeah, that's no good. That is no good. Okay. I mean, that's nice, but does not leave us in a good place for anything else. Okay. Let's just jump over to this one. See if this one's a bit more obvious for my failing brain. Well, we know about this. We can do a little wiggle here. Yeah, and of course it's not that easy. This feels like we have to do something sneaky in the middle. Maybe we go down this route. Thanks, Andy, and thanks for joining us and making Trifoil. It's really good. And I'm determined to finish these couple of puzzles, whether or not I do them on stream or not. But have a good evening. Okay. I feel like this is one that looks simple as well, but is going to kick me in the head. Yeah, because then we just get stuck over here. So let's try the other route. See, if we loop around there, that we get stuck. So it can't be like that. So what if we loop like this? That gets us back to the same issue, doesn't it? Because we want to go around here and then... Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hello, Fatchua. Yeah, well, nearly done is generous. There's this one and the previous puzzle that I'm very, very stuck on. Very stuck on. This one took me a while. Really, really sneaky. And I can't quite crack this one, and it's really good, but my brain is hurting. Have you done all the optional puzzles as well then? If you have, I have a question for you. This bit round the left, where there's no gap in the wall, is this important? Do I have to go round here? Because it feels like I do, but also I can't see a way of doing that. Okay. Okay. Can't do that. That locks out that space. Can't do that. That locks out that space. That just causes us issues like we've run into multiple times before. if I'm going to meta puzzle this, right? This hole feels like it's been put here by the designer because it's really important and it's what makes the puzzle solvable. Now, judging from the rest of the puzzles, I wouldn't assume that's a red herring because the rest of the puzzles have been quite fair and well designed. Well, apart from that sneaky trick up there. Apart from that sneaky trick up there. Suddenly the doubts return. Okay. Let's cover what we know. We know that these crossovers can't be in the outer spaces and they can't be anywhere where there's a wall next to them. We also know that between crossover pieces we have to go straight. So we always have to go straight down here or straight down here if we're going in that direction. We've got to have corners here. So it feels like there must be a crossover here. There must be a crossover here. If we go to the right, we have to go straight down. That will block us, so that's a bad idea, because then we can't get back home. We've done that before, and we've still got one left. Which is very frustrating. It is very frustrating. Oh. So yeah, because this feels so close. Is there anywhere else we can put a crossover in that is meaningful? See, that's worse. Oh, it feels really close. And the problem is I don't have a good enough sense about whether this is really close or whether this is completely a mile away. I'm missing one crucial turn. Yeah, that feels about right. It can't be like that because then I can't do that. But it... It can't be like that because then I can't get back. Can't be like that because that corner gets in the way. because then I get back up. I struggle to get back up there. Oh, it feels like I'm missing something obvious. No, that's no good. That still gets me stuck down here. I kind of want to zigzag like this, but then that's obviously no good. Oh. No, that's there. Ah. Oh, and I run out of crosses if I do that. Well, there's a new one. No, we can't do that. That catches us up there. This feels really bad. Thanks. I'm glad it's amusing you when you know the answer. Okay, let's ask a direct question. Is this bit on the right correct, or have I missed something in this starting bit? This like starting knot I've done. Good until the first crossing I use. Ah, for flip's sake. That was really obvious, thank you. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, that is the possibility space of that puzzle is surprisingly massive for such a simple little puzzle. Ah, I love it. Okay. As we've only got one left, let's see if we can do this final one. And then we will move on to the button effect, which I think is at the other end of the spectrum when it comes to vibes and visual complexity, but also intrigues me. Ugh, now I'm going to get lightly trolled by a smiley face. Oh yeah, no, they really do. And, like, it's fair enough that they are we didn't try this before. It is absolutely fair enough. Well, that's because that doesn't work at all. It's fair enough they escalate the possibility space, right? Because they're very clearly marked as post-game like challenges, which is good. I have no issue with that at all. Okay, so refresher what we know. We know that when they're diagonal like this, we have to have a corner between them, because otherwise, if we don't, we'll always block off something unless we have an additional crossing to stamp, which we do not in this puzzle. So we want to do that, but if we do that, we scupper ourselves getting back to the beginning. Now, importantly, unlike this monster of a puzzle, because we've got no T-junctions, we're not going to sit back on our own line. So we have to use both sides of this entrance exit, which, you know, is a long way of saying that that doesn't work. Now, we could try doing this route. But I think that then runs us into an issue over here. Because, yeah, we want to then... Basically, we then can't get that one there. So it feels like my assumption that we have to go straight across here might be a trap. But that's no good because that scuppers us later. Let's play this one out. No, that then scuppers us here. And we're at the wrong side. Okay, so maybe we try going the other way around. Well, that's no good. So let's try doing this. Then this, but that gets us back to exactly that same problem we had before. Yeah, that's always going to give us that problem. If we do like this, then we can at least get back where we want to go. Okay. Difficulty is we then need to deal with these ones. So if we do all of this... Oh. Starting to feel like you're not entirely on my side here, Fatua. Oh, and then that corner blocks off me being able to do what I want to do here. Ah, you monster. Right. That work? work? No, because then this one's a problem. If we play this out and go all the way through, we won't have crossed that one. It definitely feels like I need to do something non-obvious at like the halfway mark. Question is what, because that then gets us stuck. It can't be that, because that takes us back to the same problems we were having previously. You don't actually remember the trick here. Oh, that's promising. I mean... who says we need to do it all in a wanna? Interesting. Does that help? Maybe, maybe not. Well, certainly not that, because that blocks this off. But that... now that's then cutting off this whole area over here. We can't go back up there. Oh, I've gone. Oh, sorry, apologies. I've gone into silent, thinky brain. I'm trying to see what the trick is. And failing quite badly. That's clearly just wrong in a lot of ways. Okay. So from the start, we can either go left or down. If we go, oh, sorry, right or down, that's a good start. If we go right, we have to go right across here. Right, that's our only option. If we go down, we can then go right or down. But whenever we get to this point, if we get to this point, we definitely have to go to the right. It does feel like the more sensible thing to do, but that then dictates our moves all the way up to here because of the rules we know. Flipping flip. Oh, that felt really close for a moment. These eyes that are causing the problem. Oh? Would you care to give a hint if you think you've got it? Puzzle will have to be solvable both ways. That's a very good point, Lurker, yes. Because it is... Yeah, this one is symmetric. We've had quite a few that aren't, but that's a very good point. Which then means then we have to go across here at some point. Yeah, okay, so it's around here that what I need to do next becomes very hazy. So we can do all of this, but then we will get stuck up here with this loop. So if we can get rid of this loop somehow... So there's a lot of space in the middle that we can still use that we haven't used. So let's undo. Yeah, the problem is, if we ever try and loop back up there, we'll always have the same issue. We'll always have this corner piece getting in the way. Oh, hey! We did have to split it at the bottom. Yes. Okay. Well then. With some quite quiet moments in that is the demo for Trifoil, which is in the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase at the moment. Strongly recommend you go and wishlist this, give it a try. I'm very interested to see if some kind of meta puzzle stuff starts to appear later on. It really feels like with these strange glyphs that we made from the sub-areas, there is something else going on here. I have a suspicion there's something else going on in this demo that I've not quite found yet. Either way, really enjoyed this. As I mentioned at the beginning, obviously I love weird glyphs. It's totally my jam. It's very much a kind of solacey colour palette with the cyan and magenta as well. It's got some bloom. Very much up my alley. Now, I think it's time to swap to our other demo today, which is the button effect. So I am just going to pause things very briefly while I swap over to that game, and then we'll get digging into the button effect, which is kind of a bit more mist-like, a bit more cube-like from what I've seen from the trailer. But I think it's going to be interesting. It's the other one that really intrigued me. So let me just pause and swap over a second, and we'll get going again in just 1 minute.